Beyond the economics, it gives you power in dealing with other countries, because China would come in and say, no more tax, no more tax. They were absolutely fine for me to deal with because they were so petrified of me putting on additional tariffs. And we don't use that. China is right now our boss. They are the boss of the United States, almost like we're a subsidiary of China.
Is there no concern?
The Biden administration has been so weak.
Mr. President, is there no concern that China could impose retaliatory tariffs or retaliatory actions that would make doing business in China difficult for American companies, which are dependent on China for growth?
That's okay. Yeah, sure. They might do that, but you know what? They didn't do it with me.
So tell Starbucks, tell McDonald's that it's going to be all of a sudden maybe more difficult to do business there.
But they didn't do it with me. You know, we went through years and they didn't do it with me. And they never pulled that trigger. That's a big trigger for them to pull. But even if they do, let American companies come back to America. Look, if you want to sell a car in China, you can't. Okay, you have to put you pay a massive tax or a massive tariff. If we make our cars, we can't sell in China. They charge tremendous tariffs. Well, they're very smart. They're saying, come over to this country. Look at Apple. I've had a great relationship with Apple. And with Tim and everybody over there, it was fine. But I said, you got to build your plants here. They built a big plant in Texas. I was working on that very, very hard with various companies that they build in China, because if they build in China, they have no tax. So they'd make it in China. I said, we want you to make it here. They were coming back. They did. They came back with a very big plant here. I said, I'm not doing this unless you, and the whole topic of tariffs to me is so simple. Number one, it's great economically for us, and it brings our companies back. Because if you charge tariffs to China, they're going to build their car plants here, and they're going to employ our people. They're right now building big plants because of Biden. They're building big plants in Mexico. So they build a big China plant in Mexico. Then they sell it across the border with very little tax. It's ridiculous. We want them to build their plants in the United States. We don't want to get cars from China. We want to get cars made by China in the United States using our workers. But it also gives us a big political power. Tariffs are tremendously powerful in terms of stopping wars, because they don't want tariffs. And frankly, I made them sing. I made other countries sing with the threat of tariffs. And if you don't have tariffs, we have nothing whatsoever on them. We have lost such an opportunity. When I've seen, if you want to build a Harley Davidson as an example, I said, how are you doing in India? They were in the White House. How are you doing in India? No good. Why? They have a 100% tariff, or more than that even. And therefore, we basically can't say, because you have to double and triple the price in India. I said, so what are you going to do? Well, they want us to build a plant in India, and that way we don't have. So they go and they build a big plant in India. We started doing the same thing here. And we have the pot of gold. We have the best pot of gold. But eventually we won't have that, because our country is going down, and we're not going to have it. We're losing our economic power.